Hey, once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I just keep looking around. I've gotten teary-eyed a bunch of times. I think I'm going to keep it together during this, but this really is just beautiful. Hopefully this moment, we could ball this moment up and carry it with us into our homes, our days, our workspaces, and do some real change. I've titled this speech, "The Time America Didn't Look Away." If I got some participation, nobody, don't be too cool, but please participate in this question. If over the past 3 months you've attended your first protest or demonstration, would you raise your hand? My hand's raised just like you guys. Yeah, that's what I expected because I'm right there with you. My hand is up. This is my first time joining this way. My first protest, I've actually been able to organize it. Kind of cool. I don't know. We'll see. But at the same time, this is my first time seeing black people suffer or die in America. And I'm just curious. I'm really curious. Why is America caring more now? Why are we caring more now? And from talking to my grandmother, who's the wisest lady in my life and can really cook, she lives in St. Louis. She's 76 years old, and I called her this week, and we were talking about just life and how everything's going on. She checks in all the time. I asked her, why do you think it's different this time? And she was like, I don't know. It just seems different this time, baby. And I agree. It's different this time. I'm 22 years old. I'm trying to figure it out, enjoying the fight more now than I ever had before. Ultimately, I know I must stand for something, and I know I come from a long tradition of people who have stood for freedom and love for a long time, for years, for decades, for centuries, for me to be right here and for a lot of us to be right here. Through slavery, fighting to survive, Reconstruction, fighting for democracy, Jim Crow, fighting to be equal, Civil Rights Movement, fighting to be heard, Post-Civil Rights Movement, fighting to rise up, having a black president, fighting for our rightful place among the rest. Black people have been fighting for a very long time to see a better day in a country that hasn't fully fought for us. And as I stand here, I don't want to paint the picture that change hasn't happened. So I honor those brave men and women that took those steps years ago, our parents, our grandparents, all those that have gone before us. Change to me is the process and the end results. So I say we made steps, but we all know there's work to be done. And I understand why a lot of people feel overwhelmed right now, feel frustrated. It seems hard to agree on anything. An argument awaits us almost at every turn. We try to explain our beliefs. Even making a simple statement like Black Lives Matter causes defenses to rise up. Our country seems like it's in flames because of a lot of rage, disappointment, and just like disbelief of the evil that we've all seen on our phones. And honestly, it just feels helpless, like there's no way forward sometimes. But I find myself here with hope because I'm seeing all the good that's already coming out of all this madness and tragedy. Like this special moment right here as I look across Bowman Field, feel a lot of people look differently, come from different. We're all here gathered together. And ultimately, as I've been able to reflect and look within, which is most important, I just feel like it's different this time. And I can hear you asking, why? Why is it different this time? Because this time, America didn't look away. Many of you are here this evening because you didn't look away. In the past, we've all looked away from the real wounds that are on the body of America. For some, we lost hope, thinking it's just going to be the way it is, and it'll forever be that way. For some, we got selfish, thinking as long as it's not my people, but not my family, not my friends, I'm good. For some, we tried to ignore it, thinking that this can't really be how it is in America, but it is. For some, we suppressed it, thinking nobody cares to listen to our pain. And for whatever reason, maybe Corona, the world being on pause, maybe it's just been a bunch of moments that have made this moment. Maybe it's the 2020 vision, seeing things clearly. Maybe it's TikTok, who knows. But for whatever reason, this time, people are not looking away. For 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we were forced not to look away. For 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we heard George Floyd's helpless cries, and we cried. I cried. We saw George Floyd have his life taken away, and we felt our life being taken away too. In the bystanders who were quiet, we saw those who would not fight for us. 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we faced the reality that systemic inequality exists, that racism, both hidden and overt, exists, that justice still exists. And by not looking away, we actually faced our brokenness, which, although painful, is always the first step of healing. By facing it, this has caused many people in our nation, like Trevor said, that aren't black, to listen. And more than listen, to actually believe the stories that they don't want to hear. And by facing it, it has caused us that are black to be heard. And more importantly than to just be heard, but people actually believe us for the first time, that we've experienced a different America. And that's why I say it's different this time. In the same breath, the way forward was the way we got here. Let's not look away, because this is really our chance to make some difference. So the question becomes, like, while we're all here, we gather together, we march, but where do we go from here? I say the same thing. Let's not look away from the problems, but look for opportunities for the solution. So I say be brave enough to not look away. Look at the system. If you've been blessed with resources, bring others up that have been pushed down. If you are in leadership, make a way for those that haven't been able to get into those doors. If you are in power, speak up for those that aren't, and make decisions that bring about true equality. If you're successful, help others be successful. Lift as you climb. If you benefited off what has been built, make sure you build so more people can benefit, because not everyone is benefiting right now. I say be brave enough to not look away from relationships. The struggle for freedom means more than just sympathy, but solidarity. Sympathy feels bad about a situation. Solidarity joins us. They stand with people who are struggling, and they fight for them, what you guys have done today. And to my white brothers and sisters, continue to listen, continue to have tough conversations, continue to use your privilege to help others, continue to learn, continue to put yourself in other people's shoes. To my black brothers and sisters, keep being brave to tell your stories. Continue to burn with passion, continue to empower those around you, continue to turn your anger, which is rightfully so, into some purpose. Let your frustrations fuel you for more change, and continue to tell truth to people that have been scarred for years. Black is beautiful. Black is proud. Black is wonderful. Black is not less than. Black is just as good. Black is wonderful. And finally, let's not be afraid to look in the mirror. Search your heart, all of us. Identify the attitudes or the assumptions that we hold against people that look different than us. Don't allow space for hatred, because nobody wins there. Don't allow space for prejudice. Recognizing when we look in the mirror and deal with what's inside, this is what brings about true change. And when our heart changes, we change. And as we change, our homes change. And as our homes change, our society changes. Hopefully, as our society changes, our future changes. As our hearts change, we change. As we change, our homes change. As our homes change, our society changes. And hopefully, our future changes. And as we all commit to do this, hey, it's not, this is one step in the right direction. Change the name of the buildings is one step in the right direction. And as we continue to take steps, one step, one conversation, one prayer, one time just showing up, one protest, one moment, one belief, one reflection, one cry, just one everything. As we all continue to do that, I think we'll look back and we'll see that we made some difference. And collectively, we made the world better. So I pray when history records this moment, it'll record a story of a generation that seized the opportunity because they refuse to look away. It's different this time.